Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope you are having a fantastic afternoon. In this video, we are going to take a little journey through Kringle Bourbon, Apple, and Oud. Now, this is a new fragrance for fall 2024 from Kringle Candle. And in full disclosure, I did receive this one in PR, so I did not pay for it. All opinions are still my own. If you are interested in picking this or any of the other new fall 2024 fragrances up from Kringle Candle, I'll put a link to where to shop with them in the description box down below. I will also put my discount code. It is an affiliate discount code, just so you're aware, but that'll save you 15% off of your purchase. My code is Melanie15, and you can just pop that into the coupon field when you check out. And it does work with a number of sales as well, so it's always worth trying to pop that in there if you don't have any rewards available to use. That way you can save yourself a little bit of extra money. Anyway, I am really excited to share this particular review because this scent has really kind of captured my attention. When I did my first sniff impression of this one, I liked it on cold sniff, but the more that I've been burning it, the more I have really fallen for this one. At first, I didn't get much of that oud note, but after burning it, it's definitely present. So if that particular fragrance note is a little bit of a turn off for you, I know it can be for some people. It's kind of a polarizing fragrance note, I feel like. You might want to be careful with this one. Definitely maybe think about getting the wax melts first. As far as I know, the daylights are still not available. They are trying to fix the machine that pours their daylights. I believe they are just waiting for parts, and then they can start processing those again. But yeah, this is one where I would say if you're a little iffy on that oud note, you might want to, think of maybe grabbing the wax melts. Those should be available for you. Just to make sure that this is something that does agree with you. But anyway, let's go ahead and read through all of the fragrance notes and the scent description. We'll talk strength and throw, and then discuss the burn quality at the end. So our fragrance description here reads: Bourbon, Apple, and Oud, the irresistible allure of gently spiced bourbon wraps around crisp golden apple and warm peppered woods, enhanced with sweet tonka and sugared amber. So the top notes here read apple and wood. The mid notes are bourbon and sweet, and the base is tonka and amber. All right, so what do I smell? First of all, there is definitely the apple, I feel like, is the star here. That is the very first thing that I noticed on this fragrance on cold sniff. I also love that the apple plays a really prominent role after you light this as well. The apple that's in here is definitely a very sweet, juicy apple note. It's interesting though, because there is also quite a bit of tonka in here and apple, and normally I typically don't love very sweet fragrances mixed with those notes necessarily, but it really kind of works with this one. But in terms of like the specific apple, I can't really necessarily distinctly say Honeycrisp or Macintosh or Gala apple or something like that. It's just a very sweet kind of generic apple note. So think along the lines of a Macintosh, think along the lines of, a Honeycrisp or something like that. There is a very distinct wood note in here that definitely hits me next, and I kind of feel like it's a very heavy oak note to my nose. I believe, don't quote me on this, I'm not a big bourbon drinker myself, but I believe that bourbon is aged in oak. I think it is, but again, don't quote me. But I'm definitely getting like that heavy oaky note in here. But Luckily, I don't get anything remotely boozy. I was kind of afraid that the bourbon would really develop in here and that it would change into more of a boozy type of fragrance. I know a lot of people love those. I don't really find them appealing myself. So I'm very happy to report that the bourbon part of this just does not exist for me. I will say, however, the tonka and the amber, and then a very definite incensey, woody, smoky oud note is definitely present in here. The tonka comes across as almost like a really potent, like unsweetened vanilla in a way. And then that amber is a really rich, perfumey, resinous amber. And then again, the oud is there, you guys. I didn't smell it quite as much on cold sniff, but it does present itself when it's burning. So even though there isn't an oud note listed here, it does have the same like incensey, again, resinous, perfumey type of vibe that I typically get from oud. So I don't think it's overpowering. I think it actually plays quite nicely with that sweet apple note. This is a very interesting fragrance to my nose. Honestly, I don't typically gravitate towards these types of scents. I love apple fragrances as transitional scents, and this one, just for whatever reason, it's just pleasant. It is not, again, what I normally gravitate towards, but I've found myself craving this smell. I am definitely just about at the halfway point with this one, so I'm actually gonna turn this around so that you guys can see that gorgeous, clean wax pool there. This candle is burning like an absolute champ, you guys. I have now had this lit for 5 hours and I am not having a single issue with the flames. I am not dealing with the wax discoloring. I am not dealing with sooting. Like, it's just, I know we're getting ahead here with talking about the overall burn, but I just can't get over how good the burn on these classic Kringle jars are. This is the reason that I really have kind of fallen in love with Kringle, is that I don't have to babysit these candles at all. So in terms of burn quality, there are 0 issues. I'm a massive fan of the way that this one is performing. Let's talk strength and throw. This one is great, you guys. If you are looking for a more, like, I don't want to use the word pungent because I feel like that kind of has some bad implications to it, but this just is, it's a very distinct fragrance and it is so noticeable. Honestly, the strength of this kind of hovers at around almost an 8 for me. It really is one of the stronger 2-wick Kringle candles that I have experienced. My typical strength and throw for the classic jars is usually somewhere between like a 6 and 7.5, 8. But this is more of a solid 8 in terms of strength. And this one fills a lot of the downstairs. So I'm gonna put the throw probably at close to an 8 as well. It is quite potent. Again, it's very noticeable. This is not a subtle fragrance. There are a lot of people who have commented on my videos who say that they actually appreciate fragrances that are a little bit more subtle. So I feel like for those people, I just really want to stress that you are not getting any subtlety here. If you're gonna get this fragrance, it's going to smell up probably the bulk of your house. So make sure that you enjoy it first. But if you typically like apple scents, if you typically like heavier fragrances, if you are okay with a more perfumey type of take on apple, then I think this one is absolutely worth checking out. But if subtlety is what you're going for, you're not gonna get it with the bourbon apple and oud, I can tell you that. Also, if you don't like that incense oud type vibe, I would also recommend staying away from this one. But personally, I love this, and it pairs well with a number of actually the Halloween fragrances. I've been burning this one alongside several of the Halloween scents, and it is fantastic. It just is a really nice complement to a wide range of candles. I would say like the sweeter, more intense gourmands, this is not a good fit for that, but almost everything else that I've paired this with, it's smelled fantastic. It just adds like again, a perfuminess. I think this kind of smells sophisticated in a way as well. It's really interesting. I would love to hear some other people describe this fragrance as well. So if you have happened to purchase this one already, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I always love seeing what you guys have to say about the Kringle candles as well. They just come up with some really interesting things sometimes. Usually things are a hit with me, but there's a few misses here and there with Kringle as well. But this one I think is, I really like it. I will be repurchasing another one of these. So anyway, like I said, leave your thoughts down below. Also, again, if you are new, definitely hit that subscribe button right below the video here. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.